The processional for the College of Business Administration begins. Mace bearer, Dr. Jeffrey Guys. Ms. Sarah Hyman, valedictorian, and Ms. Raya Al-Khatib, Julian A. McPhee Honor Award recipient. Candidates of Master of Business Administration and Master of Science in Business Administration degrees. Faculty and candidates of Technology and Operations Management. faculty and candidates of e-business, faculty and candidates of accounting, faculty and candidates of computer information systems, faculty and candidates of finance, real estate, and law. Faculty and candidates of international business. Faculty and candidates of marketing management. faculty and candidates of management and human resources. Ladies and gentlemen, Interim Dean Weyrich, President Coley, and party. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please rise as music student Jared Faree performs the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I'd like to thank Jared for his performance. Please be seated.
Good morning. Please be seated. What a great looking group you must be, College of Business Administration graduates. My name is Cheryl Weyrich, and it is my privilege to serve as Interim Dean of the College of Business Administration. I would like to welcome you to our commencement exercises. Let's hear it for the class of 2015. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the college, I offer congratulations to our graduates and a special welcome to their families and friends who join us today. It now gives me great pleasure to recognize the distinguished members of the platform party. I ask that each of them stand as I read their names, but please hold your applause until they've all been introduced. Ms. Michelle Stoddard, Acting Vice President for University Advancement. Dr. Rebecca Gutierrez Keaton, Acting Vice President for Student Affairs. Mr. John McGuthrie, Vice President for Information Technology and CIO. Dr. Stephen Garcia, Vice President for Administrative Affairs and CFO. Dr. Kevin Moncrief, Lecturer in the International Business and Marketing Department. Dr. Jing Hu, Associate Professor in the International Business and Marketing Department. Dr. Nazha Hadiat, Chair of the Accounting Department. Dr. Ron Pike, Assistant Professor in the Computer Information Systems Department. Hey! No. Dr. Paul Sarmas, Professor in the Finance, Real Estate, and Law Department. Dr. Frank Bryant, Professor in the International Business and Marketing Department. Dr. Carlos Gonzalez, Chair of the Management and Human Resources Department. Dr. Hassan Awadi, Chair of the Technology and Operation and E-Business Department. Dr. Greg Carlton, Professor of Computer Information Systems. Dr. Robert Hurt, Professor of Accounting. Ms. Sarah Hyman, Valedictorian and Senior Class Gift Presenter. Ms. Raya Al-Khatim, Julian A. McFeed Award recipient. Dr. Jeffrey Geis, Mace Bearer. Dr. Martin Dembour, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs. Trustee Lillian Kimbrell, CSU Board of Trustees. And Dr. Soraya Coley, President of Cal Poly Pomona. Thank you all for joining in our celebration today. At this point, it is customary for me to introduce President Coley. President Coley, on behalf of everyone within the College of Business Administration, we thank you for your willingness to listen to our feedback and looking forward to our future under your leadership.
Thank you so much for those kind words. Before I share my brief remarks with you, the graduates who are leaving us at Cal Poly Pomona, I want to bestow a special recognition upon someone else who is also departing, our provost, Dr. Martin Dembour. Dr. Dembour joined Cal Poly Pomona in August of 2008. And since that time, he has been steadfast in his commitment to student success and academic excellence. Because of time, I will not read the resolution prepared for this occasion, but with the gratitude of the college deans, the faculty, and the academic senate for his outstanding achievements and personal dedication to the advancement of Cal Poly Pomona, I am pleased to bestow upon Martin the title of Provost Emeritus. Martin, will you join us? Martin, on behalf of the Cal Poly Pomona community, our very best wishes are extended to you as you assume the position as Provost at DePaul University. Well, hello, class of 2015. On behalf of the outstanding faculty and staff of this great university, I am honored to welcome you and to applaud your accomplishments. Getting to this important milestone was not always easy. Late study nights, working, volunteering, economic challenges, attending to family needs, all of these and more could have deterred you. Instead, you persisted, and here you are today, and we could not be more excited or proud. I am sure you would acknowledge that you did not reach this milestone on your own, whether it was your family, your friends, colleagues, faculty, and/or staff. Today's commencement ceremony is as much their celebration as it is yours. So let's take a moment to honor them. Graduates, please look back at all of your guests and give them a well-deserved round of applause. And there are other supporters whose names you may not know. They have contributed towards your education through scholarships and donations because they know how important education is to individuals and families, as well as to the advancement of our society. Many of these contributors once sat where you are sitting. They felt compelled to pay it forward. And we hope that you too will join the Alumni Association and help enrich the lives of future students. Stay connected with us and help Cal Poly Pomona reach the next level of excellence. And as you leave us, you will be met with society's great opportunities and challenges. We will continue to advance technologically, but we will also struggle with the impact of income inequality. We will seek to live up to our country's ideals of diversity and inclusion and struggle to determine our contribution to global peace and well-being. We will debate the character and integrity of our leaders while seeking to personally demonstrate and instill those same qualities in our children. This is the great paradox you will encounter. These complex issues will require more than cookie-cutter solutions. It will require leaders, innovative thinkers, and difference makers. And graduates, we've prepared you just for this moment. Let me share 2 words of advice. Be bold. Learn by doing. Diversity, inclusion, and the teacher-scholar model here aren't simply abstract ideals of our university. These core values will give you an advantage as you work to identify pressing issues and to develop creative solutions. You know what it means to live, learn, and lead in a changing multicultural world because you've already done it here at Cal Poly Pomona. After I graduated from college, I wasn't sure of my long-term plans, and one day a faculty member suggested I apply for graduate school. That conversation changed my life. I know that some of you have had such moments here at Cal Poly Pomona, and there will be other moments in your life when a single conversation or a specific event will change the trajectory of your life. Seize those moments. Be bold. Have confidence that you possess the education, the abilities, the intuition, and passion that will guide you to pursue new opportunities and to flourish when challenges arise. In closing, I'd like to leave my wish for you, which is taken from a passage by Dennis Kimbrough. May you develop a burning desire that is required of all achievement. And may you stand up for the rights of others against the undesirable influence and threats of enemies. May you work faithfully and make the best of your opportunities. May you save your money so that you could pay your way in this world and yet be generous to those in need. May you bathe each day in the golden glow of enthusiasm. And may you render more and better service than that which you were paid for. May you love your fellow human beings without regard to the factors that some say should divide us. May you forgive and forget those that may have harmed you. May you accept full responsibilities for the successes as well as the failures in your life. And may you seek the seed of triumph in every adversity. May you share yourself with others without expecting reward or payment in return. And may you know that the greatest blessing is peace. May you know that the greatest obstacle is ignorance, that the greatest challenge is understanding, that the greatest mistake is conformity, that the greatest race is the human race, the greatest strength is faith, the greatest weakness is pride, the greatest day is today, the greatest word is thanks, the greatest among us is whoever serves, the greatest message is hope, and the greatest of these is love and empathy. Congratulations, class of 2015. We're so very proud of your accomplishments.
Thank you, President Coley. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ms. Lillian Kimbell, a member of the California State University Board of Trustees. We are honored to have you here today.
Good morning, graduates. Thank you, President Coley. That was beautiful. It's a pleasure for me to be here and to bring greetings to all of you from the California State University. I extend my congratulations to all the graduates of the College of Business Administration. As citizens and future alumni of the California State University, I encourage all of you to support the university and its mission. Help keep the doors of opportunity open to those students who follow in your footsteps. You will soon learn the real benefits of earning a degree from the California State University as you go out into the workforce. The workforce that depends so greatly on more than 100,000 well-prepared CSU graduates that will become their employees this year. Be proud that you are joining the class of 3 million alums as you cross this stage. As a CSU graduate and member of your community, please continue to support the CSU by helping those in need and let them know how to get to college. Show them the road ahead and how earning a college degree can be the most important step towards a brighter future. Finally, as a graduate of the CSU, be an ambassador for our system. Let your friends, colleagues, legislators, and community know the importance work that the CSU has been doing and how important it's been to you and how they can join you by supporting the California State University. Again, congratulations and best wishes to all of you.
Thank you, Trustee Kimbell. During my 30-year career here at Cal Poly Pomona, students have thanked me for supporting them in various ways. As many educators would agree, it is often these moments when we realize the positive impact that we've had on others that are most rewarding. Continue to have someone help you through life, whether family, friends, your favorite professor, a mentor, or connecting with someone new. And also make the difference in the lives of others and take care of those that surround you. There is no greater satisfaction than knowing that you have helped someone else. Dream big, but don't confuse what is with what can be, as we live in a world of limitless possibilities. Today's dreamers are often the realists of tomorrow. As Steve Jobs said, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Dream big, but more importantly, do. Know that life is not fair and that sometimes you'll fail, but by taking some risks, stepping up during tough times, and effectively dealing with obstacles, The next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world better than the one that we have today. What started here with your experience at Cal Poly Pomona will change the world in a positive way. Congratulations, class of 2015. We wish you happiness and success in the future. Now, I would like to introduce Sarah Hyman, who will present the senior class gift to President Coley.
President Coley, Dean Wyrick, members of the stage party, distinguished guests, and fellow members of the class of 2015. Every year, the graduating class leaves behind something for the campus community. It's about leaving the university better than it was when we first got here. This tradition succeeds every year because of another tradition at Cal Poly Pomona, philanthropy. The senior class gift is entirely funded by donations from graduating seniors. This is truly a gift from us to future students. This year, our gift will be to place observation cameras in the first phase of Cal Poly Pomona's efforts to revitalize Kellogg Creek. These cameras will help to make this effort more than just a project to renew our environment, but also an exciting learning opportunity for Cal Poly Pomona's future students. President Coley, I am honored to present this gift from the class of 2015.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, class of 2015. I am sure this is a gift that will be appreciated by many future generations to come. Thank you again for your philanthropy.
It now gives me great pleasure to honor students who have shown remarkable commitment to their studies within the College of Business Administration at Cal Poly Pomona and received high marks for their efforts. Among this year's graduates, we have 116 students who have earned a GPA of 3.5 or higher and are graduating with cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude honors. Please join me in recognizing their hard work. Out of so many exceptional students, one immediately stands out for her academic excellence. Accounting student Sarah Hyman has been named class valedictorian with a GPA of 4.0. Graduating today, summa cum laude. After being named valedictorian at Diamond Bar High School, Sarah began her studies at Cal Poly Pomona, determined to pursue her career of academic excellence. Sarah was awarded an academic scholarship from Financial Executives International and recognized in 2014 as the Accounting Student of the Year. Sarah is also a member of Beta Gamma Sigma, an international business honor society. Sarah plans to pursue her CPA license and believes the education she received from Cal Poly Pomona will be the key to her future success. Sarah is proud to join her parents and her sister as fellow Cal Poly Pomona alumna. Sarah, will you please join me at the podium? On behalf of the college, I would like to present you with this certificate. This recognizes your academic excellence. Sarah can also be recognized by her green and gold valedictorian sash. Congratulations on your success, Sarah. There is another student this college would like to recognize, and that is the recipient of the Julian A. McPhee Honor Award for Student Excellence. The award is named after the founding president of Cal Poly Pomona and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and is awarded to a student who has an exemplary academic record and who is actively involved on campus and is committed to bettering the community. This year's recipient has attended Cal Poly Pomona for all 4 years, where she embraced the learn by doing philosophy and established a reputation as an exceptional leader, motivator, and communicator. As a finance, real estate, and law student, Raya has made the Dean's List every quarter and became a member of several international and national societies, such as Alpha Lambda Delta Academic Honor Society, Golden Key International Honor Society, National Honor Society of Leadership and Success, and Beta Gamma Sigma. She will graduate today magna cum laude and as a member of the Keith and Jean Kellogg Honors College. It is now my pleasure to present the Julian A. McPhee Award to Raya Al-Khatib. President Coley, would you please, oh, you're here. You're here, okay. Here's a certificate.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Wyrick and President Coley, for the kind introduction. President Coley, distinguished faculty, family members, friends, and the class of 2015, good morning. Class of 2015, we made it. We have finally made it through those sleepless nights at the library, long lines at Starbucks coffee, procrastinating papers until the night before they're due, and most importantly, I know we're going to miss all the love we have for all those group projects. I'm truly honored speaking to you today as a McPhee Scholar, but today is a special day for all of us. Every graduate here is deserving of high praise and recognition. I congratulate each of us on reaching this milestone in life. Jack Welch, one of the most celebrated CEOs, often says, business is the ultimate team sport. Business is not a me thing, it's a we thing. And I'm sure we can relate to that at Cal Poly Pomona. I truly believe that everything we do and everyone we have met are put in our lives for a purpose. I want to thank everyone I've met and connected with and all the friends I've made for being a part of my life. I wouldn't have made it without you. Learning by doing as a group, supporting each other, trusting one another and our own instincts, while taking risks and believing in ourselves will help us in the real business world. We all come from different walks of life. We all have different stories to share, yet the common thread that connects us is the desire for a brighter future. Although our future outlooks vary, we chose Cal Poly Pomona to bring us one step closer to our ultimate goal. On behalf of my graduating class, I would like to thank every faculty member at Cal Poly Pomona for sharing your knowledge, for serving as mentors, for your patience and support. We are honored and grateful to say that we were once your students. I would also like to express a heartfelt thank you to the Kellogg Honors College for your support and helping me grow as an individual with an array of interests, diverse activities, and a strong desire of giving back to the community based on generosity and respect. As all the graduates gather here today, we think about the people who have helped us the most. Maya Angelou once said, but nobody can make it out here alone. And for me, it was my parents. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for instilling in me the importance of education. My father left his homeland of Lebanon at a very young age to attend Cal Poly Pomona, and he graduated with the highest GPA, but he enhanced which then enhances opportunity to learn, grow, and succeed. Thank you for your endless love, advice, courage, and for always believing in me. Thank you for your guidance and for your lifelong values and morals you have instilled in me. I love you both very much. As we close this chapter in life and continue to write the pages, let's never forget the bridges we've crossed, the bonds we've shared, and the memories that we've made here at Cal Poly Pomona. Congratulations once again. I wish each of you health, strength, prosperity, and a happy and bright future. Thank you, class of 2015.
Thank you, Raya, for your inspirational speech. I would now like to call upon Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Martin Dembour, to present the candidates for master's degree.
Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration and Master of Science in Business Administration please rise? President Coley, I present to you the candidates for the Master of Business Administration and Master of Science in Business Administration degrees. These candidates have all completed the requirements for each of these degrees as prescribed by the State of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they've been recommended by the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona.
Candidates for the master's degree, you've heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer upon you the degrees of Masters of Business Administration and Master of Science in Business Administration, with all the rights, honors, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Doctors Robert Hurd, Greg Carlton, Kevin Moncrief, and Jing Hu will assist with the hooting and awarding of diplomas for the graduate business programs.
Daryl Dean Mendoza. Kevin Alamahoda.
Catherine Darlene Stannard.
Putu Robin Wijaya.
Jenny True.
Tiana Esprit Mackemel.
Stephen Hune.
Brenda Primavera Rodriguez.
Zare Garapetian.
Kimberly Diane Carson.
Mark Eugene Hensley Jr.
Alexander Aron Deanda.
Shanglin Jin.
Adam Marvin Ortiz.
Laureen C. Fleming.
Subaporn Purpatanapong.
Davina Vililac.
Daniela Ali.
Carol Lynn.
Joshna Narakuditi.
Calvin Lee.
Lydia Lynn.
Julia Christine Rosengren. David Shane Hernandez. And this concludes the degree conferral for Master in Business Administration and Master in Science in Business Administration.
We will now begin the awarding of undergraduate degrees. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration please rise? President Coley, I present to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the College of Business Administration. These candidates have completed the requirements for the baccalaureate degree as prescribed by the State of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended for their degrees by the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona.
Candidates for the baccalaureate degree, you've heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with all the rights, honors, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations. Now, in academic tradition, the student who has not yet earned a degree wears the tassel on the mortarboard on the right side. When the degree is conferred, the scholar moves the tassel to the left and joins a select company. In recognition of your new status, will each recipient of the baccalaureate degree please move the tassel to the left? Congratulations. Please be seated.
Ushers, please escort the candidates from Technology and Operations Management and E-Business. Candidates from the other departments, please remain seated until directed by the ushers. Guests, please also remain seated until the ceremony is over. Undergraduates, are you ready?
We will now begin the degree conferral for E-Business. Evan Smith, summa cum laude. Ricky Gisal. Jasmine Noemi Herrera. Chonki Leong. Se-Hing Leon. Justin Zachary Leewag. Nicholas Vincent Thibodeau. Daniel Lee Penner. Stephen Chu. And this concludes the degree conferral for e-business. We will now begin the degree conferral for technology and operations management. Lee Pan. John Joseph Vela. Ravi D. Bojak.
Shua Huang.
Rocco Joseph Corbo, magna cum laude.
James Saga, cum laude.
Axel Rojas Fabian.
Eric Jorgensen.
Joe Reyes.
Raymond Taylor Heath.
Kwa Nguyen.
Danielle Linnell Wallace.
Christopher Remus. Ronald Romero Rusk, summa cum laude.
Javier Zuniga Monreal.
Scott Yang.
Wesley Brian Nelson.
Jazz Jonathan Ponce.
Brett Manuel Bailey.
Shane Anthony Robbins.
Scott Anthony Bigler.
Freddie Flores.
Hui Ho Yu. Christopher J. Aquino.
Alexander Kuznetsov.
Stephen Jesse Hernandez.
Juan Carlos Estrella.
Matthew Kyle Lapierre.
Eduardo Garcia Wong.
Juan Carlos de la Torre.
Gerardo Carrillo.
Roy Christian Desario.
Christian Acuna.
Sean McKay Peralta.
Freddie Antonio Vidal.
Jeffrey Aaron Law. Christopher Haboyan. Mohammed Abdalal. Donald Joseph Job. Ezekiel Cho Kim. Alisher Gonzalez. Jeffrey Koo. Mauricio de la Torre Barragan.
And this concludes the degree conferral for technology and operations management. We will now begin the degree conferral for accounting. Chi Hang Choi.
Fernando Briones. Chad Edward Kantner, cum laude.
Lucina Gadimian.
Miguel Angel Beltran.
Garinea Berdosian.
Leslie Brittany Wong.
Alexa Victoria Koch, summa cum laude.
Raymond Munandar.
Lauren Nicole Jakey, cum laude.
Sarah Aileen Hyman, summa cum laude.
Cami Jewel Johnson, summa cum laude.
Michael Tundra. Nicole Michelle Trabulsi. Laura Medina.
Zari Marfrazilian.
Jonathan Choi.
Nicole Christine Aguilar.
Benjamin Chan.
Kristen Rebecca Lawson.
Mohammed Taha Suleiman.
Jillian Mara Deneen.
Andrew Kim.
Asil Bahir Al-Sabi.
Jacob Gago.
Chloe Howe, cum laude.
Angel Gonzalez.
Sora Rachel Lee.
Alina Celeste Velasquez.
Abraham Yee.
Johnny Kiev.
Ha-Si Fang.
Ibrahim Shusha.
Minjun Shu.
Pablo Dominguez.
Farouk Ali Shamsudian, cum laude.
Matthew Andrew Hirsch.
Kylie Marie Navarrete.
Evan Joseph Theory.
Eric Josue Hernandez.
James Kent Chan.
Longen Ni.
Anthony Muchler.
Yen Chu.
Wei Dai.
Kenna Nin.
Robert Lynn Moore IV, summa cum laude.
Monica Jung Zhu, summa cum laude.
David Ho Tran.
Monique Erica Manzo.
Andy Carr Chan.
Bernice Hernandez.
Brenda Machayan.
Celia Lee Chan.
Anime Belleza.
Marianne Jung Kong.
Kelvin Lee.
Perry Nicholas Tixay.
Ming Zhao.
John Chan.
Timothy Aaron Dominguez.
Tai Chow.
Danelle Zdonich.
Patricia Marie Beltran Cruz.
Lawrence Villanueva Figueres.
Norman Huang, summa cum laude.
Joan Lee.
Alfonso Martinez, summa cum laude.
Jessica Esparza Rivera, cum laude.
Johnson Ka.
Jing Yin.
Tyler Garrett Anderson, cum laude.
Emilio Edgardo Guillen III.
Sophia Raymond, magna cum laude, Kellogg Honors Scholar.
David Arthur Quack.
Mohammed Mada.
George Cheetah Ho.
Connor Jacob Gasek.
Eric Vidarazga.
Eric Anthony Mose.
Patrick Casabar Vatagi.
Christina Torres.
Curtis Tomotsu Nakashima.
Yan Su Lu.
Miguel Decane.
Cheryl Santa Maria.
Joshua Ryan Arizabel Luzad.
Nicholas Frank Sokovich.
Israel Arias.
Brian David Lamberts.
Ruby Choi.
Peter Nabil Hanna.
Jonathan Luong.
Hillary Guerrilla, summa cum laude. Michelle Tom, summa cum laude.
Ferry Bowen.
Benjamin Alvarado.
Duong Trin.
Alyssa Justine Menchaca Urar.
Jonathan Michael Sikama.
Francisco Alvarado.
Josiah Tony Liggins.
Siddharth Srikumar.
Katie Betancourt.
Henry Vuong.
Iabel Asefa Legezi.
Deanna Elizabeth Bryden, magna cum laude.
Daniel Magallanes.
Valerie Monique Urrutia.
Gregory Daniel Trujillo.
Arandi Espinal, cum laude.
Man Hin Lo.
Christine San.
Sarah Elizabeth Jimenez.
Sandra Chen.
Christina Valencia.
Noel Diaz.
Stephanie Joanna Nuno.
Tram T. Pham.
Jasmine Kauri Hanamure. Justin Razonable Mak, magna cum laude.
Robert Malhulia Fu.
Gabriela Moreno Lopez.
Nan So.
Joshua Javier Ruiz.
Perla Evelyn Sosa.
Catherine Avila. Melissa Villanueva.
Nancy Linlua.
Sulima Martinez. Lourdes Maria Cabral.
Melanie Ann Chua.
Marissa Alexandria Nunez.
Lynn Lam.
Brianna Christine Schachner, cum laude.
Vanessa Xu J. Wang.
Sheryin Chen, magna cum laude.
David Elias Sheldon.
Ling Wang.
Matthew Michael De Italia.
Hui-chan Yu.
Mario Delabra.
Shangjin Su.
Courtney Parker.
Luis Albert Huerta.
Katrina Marie Natividad Nibraga.
Ruben Gonzalez.
Katie P. Huang.
Eric Carrillo, magna cum laude.
Michael Edward Hill.
Jose Cruz Medina Jr.
Daniel James Barry.
Justin Chow.
Robert James Perez, Jr. Christine D.D. Fong. Christopher Martin Bertrice. Manuel Alfonso Bodoni. Jason George Berkovich. Joyce N. Lee. Ring Lee. Howard Kevin Halu. Connie Wu. Wenling Lu, cum laude. Hong Hong Shu. Wing Yan Choi. Natalie Ann Kunert. Adam Charles Pulver. Edwin Giovanni Herrera. Stephanie Deanne Clavery. Alejandro Javier Quintilla. Martha Araceli Reyes. And this concludes the degree conferral for accounting. We will now begin the degree conferral for Computer Information Systems. Timothy Wong.
Kevin Anthony Arby.
Austin Lam Chang.
Kevin James Ferris, summa cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Robert Liu.
Mario Daniel Flores.
Mario Castro.
Jeffrey Allen Cuevas.
Kevin Biltz.
Nathan Wynn.
Nelson Lee.
Justin Charles Davis.
Justin Ryan Uyan.
Chad D. Stevens, summa cum laude.
Jose Pablo Castro.
Jason Kasperowicz.
Kyle Robert Yim, cum laude.
Andrew Robert Densmore.
Gary Henry Yegazarian.
Joseph Arian.
Christopher Charles Berger, cum laude.
Jonathan W. Chan.
Hayat Mustafa Jabber, cum laude.
Harvey Lynn.
Alicia Dolores Richmond, cum laude.
Christopher Joseph Kumagai.
Surly Yapram Garabad.
James Theodore Stam II, magna cum laude.
Ryan Tyler Flores.
Alejandro Fabian Marino. Andrew William Nyland.
Jaron Marwin Hernandez Sandoval.
Rishi Basu.
James Zen He.
David Jesus Gutierrez.
Victor New, magna cum laude.
Sachin Bella.
Lawrence Marvin Chang.
Joaquin Yuan.
Alexander Kane Lay.
Eric James Skapik.
Miguel Seja Mora.
Anthony Michael Scheller.
Kevin Ong.
Dylan Michael Salgado.
Joshua Thomas Cobb.
Michael Joseph Prizzi.
Aldwin Chan.
Nathan Wynn.
King Wen Fang.
Michael Ruben Morales.
Yao Sol.
William S. McIntyre. Justin Cho.
Fern Matthew Kabahat.
Clevis Boozy.
Jason Yang.
Oscar Monje.
Tuan Duke Pham.
Douglas Aaron Lamb.
Rome Ramirez.
Carlos Hernandez.
Ben Liang.
Ivan Carrera.
Alex Lowe.
Karsten Chang Lee.
Daniel Macias.
Daniel Wubin Chong.
Jade Juby.
Abijay Gunter Vergara.
Marielle Drew Peoples.
Antoine Nguyen, cum laude.
Tan Long.
Nhan Lee Dong.
Lauren Furusawa.
Yensik Benjamin Tan.
Mai Suanaki, cum laude.
Arthur Arikelian, magna cum laude.
Ulissa Nicole Mendoza.
Ahmad M. Al-Hayek.
Jocelyn Christella, cum laude.
Awet Rusum.
Kaylee Trin.
Ali Ishak. Idris Brining.
Huk Jung Lee, summa cum laude.
Luis Ramon Dimas.
Peter Gregorian.
Ashwinraj Ravindran.
Christopher Duran Sarafian.
Sean Brian Berkeley.
Jason Youngming Lee.
Nicholas James Fritzenkotter.
Daniel Seo.
Frank Chow, magna cum laude.
Ronald Tran. Edmund Timothy Vikovitz.
Justin Wynn Coe.
Ricardo Thomas Tovar.
Christopher Javate.
Isan Shao.
Alexander Kevin Pager.
So Lin U.
Kim Long Lee.
Tony Dang. Alan Du. Patrick Daniel Beeson. Duke Tran. Joshua Martinez. David Jarkassian, magna cum laude. Miles Santa Cruz Almazar. Danny Van. Louis Slew. Hey Y'all Park. Tony Rodriguez. Henry Liu. Alex Duck Doan. And this concludes the degree conferral for Computer Information Systems. We will now begin the degree conferral for Finance, Real Estate, and Law. Jimmy Robert Gonzalez.
Rudy Almanza Navarro Jr., Sr.
Stephen Lee.
Karina Zepeda.
Bernard Cortez.
Francisco Emmanuel Garcia.
Novita Natalia. Nicole Ashley Boutros, cum laude.
Kyle Liu, cum laude.
Joseph Joe.
Axel Dang, cum laude.
Likan Peng Borja.
Jean Huang.
Michael Alexander Corral. Anna Mary Wooten.
Ria Farazdagi.
Natalie Monique Brizella McLean.
Maite Reynoso.
Philip Isaac Shalinsky.
Michael Ray Urrutia Jr.
Randall James Schlosser.
Juan Carlos Mendez, magna cum laude.
Brian Lee Mandujano.
Vincent Hong.
Christopher Cruz.
Mason Matisse Manarothkal.
Andre Pierre Wells.
Samantha K. Shields, summa cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Chin Hua Wong.
Sophia Yasmin Raymond, magna cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Lee Yu Ye.
Ana Banuelos.
Monica Yu Nambrowski.
Lauro Miramontes Cortez.
Sana Majid.
Preston Glenn Freeman.
Haley Hang Nguyen.
Shauna Colleen Gonzalez.
Ellie Du.
Fidel Celso Ventosia II.
T. Wen.
Stephen Luong.
Suzanne Penn.
Alvin Meng Ho.
Sarah Mary Wickersham.
Tony Valladares Avila.
Matthew Yoon. Aaron Samuel Weinreb.
Donald Leon Akins.
Raymond Kong.
Andrew Park.
Kyle Christopher McAllister.
Raya Ahmad Al-Khatib, cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Fernando Antonio Figueroa.
Sevak Agazarian, cum laude.
Bradley M. Belford.
Brian J. Kusero.
Alfred Lai.
Kimmy Kingsley Ho.
Jonathan Heacock Mogus. Susan Michelle Boone.
Bryant Robert Bustamante.
Darti Patel.
Freddie Valencia.
Kelly G. Ha.
Ryan Daniel Wong.
Gregory Alexander Castellanos.
Matthew Thomas Caldwell.
Timothy Scott Boyd.
Vicente Franco Gonzalez.
Bryce Gregory Padilla.
Saverio Luigi Belomo.
J. Young Choi.
Alberto Celestino Flores.
Trevor Magno. Andrew John Amaro.
Jessica Cabrera.
Kyle Lee Nielsen.
Ronnie Jerome Munoz.
Kevin Allen Craig.
Yu Joe Chan.
Nasser Khalil.
Jorge Carlos Silva.
Jose Alfredo Jimenez.
Alyssa Noel Lopez.
Kelby Vaughn Houston.
Lisa Tantan Win.
Amy C. Kwat.
Vanessa Gong.
Velska Saavedra Silva.
Miguel A. Alcantara.
Omar Benitez.
Lindsay Yoko Balon.
R.J. Renzi.
Eric Chang. Wesley Yu.
Zachary Claude Kanoyan, cum laude.
Hapla Diane Marie Fernande Aka.
Jonathan P. Short.
Sean Shaw.
Shannon Helen Whitsley.
Aaron Jiseng Chang.
Christopher James Consolo, cum laude.
Andrew Arthur Miharja.
Sabrina Lynn Wolsford, cum laude.
Jacqueline Carufe.
Melanie Tabora Mendoza.
Kevin James Orozco.
Matthew Robert Mercado.
Cody James Mickney.
Joel Edward Acuna.
Matthew Vu.
Michelle Tran.
David Anthony Hollis Bruner.
Heather Lynn Gummo.
Darren Warren Stallworth Jr. Omar Velasquez. Xiao Tran, cum laude. Jared Wellington Massey. Victor Lazaroff. Michael Decker. Michael Jorgensen. Teresa Ma. William R. Bozel. Sabrina Young. Kevin Scott Hutchison Jr. Adiel Flores.
And this concludes the degree conferral for finance, real estate, and law. We will now begin the degree conferral for international business. Juana Alejo Andrade,
Dustin Lee,
Carol Jung,
Tyler Scott Swobe,
Roman Vanacek,
Anita Shuo Fen Su,
Mary Christine Gotelli Gomez, Kellogg Honors Scholar,
Randy Salam Ku,
Diana Torres,
Toshiaki Hirai,
Marinissa Latif,
Malcolm Montiano,
Deanna Sangdai Boydston,
Albert Lowe,
Candace Chen, magna cum laude,
John Freddy Hurtado,
Rachel Day Connor,
Brian Francis Rich,
Crystal Bridget Betanzos,
Michael Jiyoung Lo,
Catalina Phillip,
Joe Vu,
Bintoy Wen,
Shiwei Alex Hung, cum laude,
John Nguyen,
Xian Huang, cum laude,
Julia Stroszewski, Kellogg Honors Scholar,
McMarsaran Davasaran,
Yuta Sozioko,
Nirut Dan Kositkul,
Canley Lee,
Margot Bothwell,
Matthew Soriano Roxas,
Caroline Kim Trong,
Alfredo Eric Escobedo,
Linda Cristal Caldera,
Sina Farutin,
June Phone Lin,
Gal Becker, magna cum laude, President Council Scholar,
Xiaohua Zhu,
Jonathan Masashi Kawaguchi,
Jianghen Fan,
Shirley Erica Sugiyama,
Regina Yao,
Freddie Yuniping Zhao,
Dimitri Sean Newson Thompson,
Jonathan Cheng Mathy,
Lauren Stephanie Tomlinson,
Chan King Chan,
Camille Louise Massey,
Martin John Aranda, summa cum laude,
Jennifer Dore Garcia,
Cheryl Lee,
Elsa Maria Fuchile, Kellogg Honors,
Jose Angel Garcia,
Dana Marquardt,
Kelly Amelia Eberhardt,
Omar Sharif Zega,
Josie Valdez,
Janet Toledano,
Vincent Paul Rosario,
John Austin Boyle,
Bobby Hua,
Robert Leonard Pranotto, Marcus Garvey Todd, Jadrick Kyle Tugati, Daisy Granados, Lynn Tang, Eric Edward Summers, George Nader Neighbor, Christopher Abran Abeta, Brandy Nicole Bush, Michael George Marquez, Bryce Stephen Fidel, Stephanie Nicole Sizemore, Garrett Robert Svensson, Johanna Wijawirawan.
and this concludes the degree conferral for international business. We will now begin the degree conferral for marketing management. Lauren Janelle Jones,
Ana Medel Selva,
Tatiana Martinez,
Joanna Jimenez,
Brian Haddad,
Joanny Valdivia,
Christopher James Rodriguez,
Chantal Camacho,
Giovanni Valsain Castillo,
Maria Castro,
Daniel Alfredo Lopez,
Carlos Alfonso Guzman,
Stephen Edward Gray,
Gabriel Anthony Iturriaga, cum laude,
Sean Patrick Donnelly,
Agnes Peralta,
Justin David Farrell,
Emily Elizabeth Bear,
Amanda Grace Smiley, magna cum laude, Kellogg Honors Scholar,
Natalie R. Velasquez, cum laude,
James Victor Bravo,
Addie Faye Reyes Raimundo,
Hamad Ziad Al Hassan, cum laude,
Sabina Sahar Ghani,
Miriam Al Hassan,
Nathan Philip Boast,
William Robert Neri,
Christopher John Finnerty,
Monica Pablo Magalaman,
Samuel He,
Jonathan Shaw,
Adrian Christine Del Monte, summa cum laude,
Danielle Rose Vela,
Taylor Robert Vincent,
Lucas Connolly,
Jennifer Ann De La Roca,
Nick Yanis Gasosiotis,
Jordan Alexander Austin,
Jose Juan Cassian,
Renee Victoria Ibarra,
Marilyn Swice,
Caroline Guerrero,
Jennifer Wong Chow, cum laude,
Allison Elizabeth Davila, Caitlin Marie Wasella,
Joanne Gamalinda Shornack,
Sarah Jean Bustamante, cum laude,
Amy Taw,
Samuel Ronald Schneider,
Alicia Marie Negrete,
Alejandrina Guerrero,
Eliana G. Chavez,
Eric Gabriel Quiros,
Patrick Carmichael Lewis,
Daniela Lynn Gray,
Hannah Rivera,
Marissa Benjamin,
Erica Nicole Salido, cum laude,
Leilani Flores Shellstraight, Kellogg Honors,
Lonnie Shea O'Gorman,
April Blossom Choi,
Sean William Harlow,
Rachel Nora Montemayor,
Alyssa Lean Villavazo,
Frank Patrick Munoz,
Alexandra Michelle Slatkin,
Ashley Estrella Baker,
Miles Alexander Gross, summa cum laude,
Joseph Vincent Pareca, cum laude,
Timothy Mark Callahan,
Donald Robert Hampton,
Jason Elias Ramirez,
Chelsea Remy Landry,
Antonio Lopez, Vivian Lee,
Michelle Wynn,
Kai Wei Chung,
Usman Surab Malik,
Su Young Guo,
Robert Anthony Nuno,
Alex Matter Kempinski,
Alan Albert Black V,
Jared Chin,
Fong Li Trin,
Andrew Christopher Lim,
Peter Hao Tang,
Lei Zin,
Tony Chiang,
Linda Liang, Marcy Marr,
Yin Yin Shi,
Jackie Tran,
Wenqian Zhu,
Freddie Yingping Zhao,
Chad Michael Mendez, Amy Xuan Chung,
Po Fun Wang,
Nicole Eileen Pinuelas,
Jenna Chung Yen Yi,
Darlene Ornelas,
Benjamin Quintero Jr.,
Jennifer E. Reed,
Daniel Laura,
Heather Nicole Bermudez,
Daryl M.C. Lai,
Mara Kahunale Portlock,
Jessica Denise Ramirez,
Shane Tsumoto Yamamoto,
Christopher Isaiah Powell,
Kenneth M. Saldana,
Michael Bolota,
Adrian Chung,
Tatiana Cortez,
Daniel Nguyen,
Charles Raymond Youssef,
Brandon Joseph Falco, cum laude, Montana Laura McNaughton,
Faizan Sanaala,
Suki Ngo,
Robert Anthony Coaches, Jr.,
Tiffany T. Tran,
Kara Nicole Sayet,
Ryan Anthony Prendergrast,
Nicole Elizabeth Garcia,
Ana Castillo,
Bonnie Kim,
Anthony Michael Jimenez, magna cum laude,
Megan Hui Min Lu,
David Moises Arellano,
Sheikh Kubir,
Dylan James Gallagher,
Jessica Ray Mahia,
Jean Lee,
Brian Noble,
Lindsay Elizabeth Medici,
Lauren Nicole Nine,
Raphael C.H. Hilseen,
Kelly R. McDivitt,
Alexander Hernandez,
Jeremy Paul DeLeon Miguel,
Jeffrey Kwok,
Laboni Bagchi,
John Anthony Ramos,
Neil Andrew Johnson,
Nicholas Chilton Amrine, Thomas Francis Durning III, Elvis Herrera, Sean Lim Rubin, Brian Doug Ho, Cynthia Enciso, Lindsay K. Lint, Emily Rachel Crosseteer,
This concludes the degree conferral for Marketing Management. We will now begin the degree conferral for Management and Human Resources. Annette C. Jimenez,
Candace Elaine Marker,
Mindy Elaine Parks,
Kelly Elizabeth Mangona,
Amanda Marie Madrid, Paul Lee,
Nayeli Estefania Vasquez Reynoso,
Andrew Rodarte,
Danica Kaim,
Samuel Sungmin Lee,
Hilda Sandoval,
Brian J. Kim,
Esmeralda Leon,
William Russell Howard,
Luis Miguel C. Flores, cum laude,
Aaron Michael Reynoso,
Tatiana Jacqueline Bagdadlian,
Gabriela Marie Gomez, summa cum laude,
Floridelina Mora,
Astrid Gabriela Ocampo,
Anthony Michael Rondinelli,
Jose Alan Garcia, Brandy Elise Payne,
Carlos Espinosa,
Brittany Marie Gordon,
Griselda Macias,
Margarita Howdegi,
Kelly Ann Wong,
Claudia Marcela Bustamante,
Jacqueline Lee Hanna,
Sabrina Morique Zarate,
Lauren Kristen Price,
Duran Grant Tippins,
Jacqueline Lee Phillips,
Brenda Cervantes,
Ana Karen Jimenez, summa cum laude,
Nicholas James Monroe,
Steve Roland Garcia,
David Lee,
Anthony Justin Robinson II,
Javier Campos, Norman S. Briones,
Krishani Elaine Gunawardena,
Stephanie Win Liu,
Christiana Marie Cook,
Carla Johanna Gonzalez,
Ashley Belen Munguia,
Haley Ann Stevens, cum laude,
Cherie Renee Speed,
Gail Gradia,
Darren Michael Alarcon,
Aureli Rodriguez, Michelle Tam,
Carlos Pedraza,
Maricela Valdez,
Wen Hui Chen,
Lucas Michael Matz Gervasi,
Brittany Lenhart, cum laude,
Sally Fan,
Gustavo Flores II, Gadier Uriarte Jr.,
John Rolf Caneba Dubaba.
David Isaiah Algara,
Haley Catherine Esparza.
Guadalupe Crontoso Gonzalez,
Angela Ng.
Mara Manda Hernandez, cum laude,
Brittany Hodura.
Aaron K. Zwinger,
Evangelina Yilas, magna cum laude.
Erin Patricia Almaraz,
Andrea Crystal Medina, magna cum laude.
Natalie Catherine Hinson,
Julio Cesar Borrego.
Amber Nicole Neela, cum laude,
Veronica Andrea Del Castillo.
Michael Bruce Bradfield,
Stephanie Marie Hawley.
Renee Nicole Morris,
Rita Moral Hemagol.
Marlene Elizabeth Hernandez,
Teresa Marie Layton, magna cum laude.
Victor Manuel Urbina,
Sarah May Leach.
Nicole Beatriz Vasquez,
Daniel Ariano.
Stanley Valle,
Eduardo Jesus Castelar Jr.
Kaylee He, magna cum laude,
Veronica Avila Miramontes.
Christopher Miles Montes,
Yuridia Rosales.
Ronnie Anthony Zavala,
Taiwana L. Hill.
Jesus Antonio Holguin,
Tiffany L. Chung.
Michael Anthony Carrillo,
Cassandra Lauren Neva Ambas.
Nicole Tayag Ledesma,
Anastasia Lee Canabales.
Jose Eloy Ramirez,
Sanashi Sagar.
Elizabeth Cortez,
Brianna Marie Meyer.
Myra Castrejon,
Zhang Jun Lai.
Sonia Villegas,
Jason Wu.
Tatiana Rivas,
Cole Travis Bloxham.
Jasmine Mirzadeh,
Tanya Najam.
Anthony Chino Trinidad, J. Andrew Tillett,
Akinola Iroko Jr.
Tara Lynn Schotter,
Jasmine Nicole Leak.
Alicia Aguirre, Jean Javier Schlenz, cum laude,
Sashi Paspapoletti.
Denise Desiree Goitia,
Natalie Marie Martinez.
Connie Hua,
Krista Ray Chaverin.
Sean Christopher Bustamante,
Me, Courtney Lee. Christina Lynn Glass.
Aaron Scott Johnson,
Florizil Ofriata.
Stephanie Maria Jaramillo,
Andrew Arthur Henry.
Kevin Mark Giraldo,
Stephanie Deanna Costa Reyes.
Kevin Daniel Perez,
Mildred Blanca Gutierrez, cum laude.
Paul J. Kester,
Christy Marie Turgetto.
Van Lack,
Yvette Armendariz.
Chelsea Danae Jackson,
Angelica Gonzalez.
Natalie Padilla,
Valeria Alejo.
Akoni Calvire, Nehemias Zaragoza,
Arpine Misropian.
Danny Boaz Sakai,
Carly J. Carrasco.
Karen Ruyan Wong,
Liliana Gallegos.
Junyu Pan,
Lucero Sanchez Laura, Kellogg Honors Scholar.
Qian Zhu,
David J. Luna.
Kevin Brian Frost,
Eric Grant Yee. Eric Toe.
Fernando Bugarin Jr.,
Yi Min. Anna C. Abdo.
Ivan Aaron Madera,
David Joe.
Michael Mo Yang,
Andy T. Nguyen.
Stephanie Nu Vu,
Daniel Stephen Godoy.
Madiha Chowdhury,
Darren Yang.
Byron Anthony Guzman,
Angel Diaz.
Aramik Yarian,
Jasmine Ordaz.
Tiffany Tang,
Oscar Leon.
Cynthia Kathleen Gutierrez.
Tara Marie Jenkins.
Karen Maria Barba.
Charlene Sandoval Garganera.
Heather Marie Pavola.
Christine Sandoval Garganera. Janet Martinez.
Sabrina Christine Gallardo.
Maribel Barba. Bart J. Torres. Miguel Angel Avila Jr. Nadia Michelle Nunez. Matthew Alvarez.
Jared Chin.
Michael J. Komplensky. Rotono Cute. Chelsea Rebecca Lerma.
Andrew Lim.
Abiel Coronado.
Sid Rivsey Jr.
Ian Jamison Toner.
Eric Biom Lee.
Norman Mostas.
Stephanie Marie Van Tilburg.
Jacqueline Liliano Campos.
Natalie Patricia Barbera.
Adam A. Jaber.
Felipe Medina Jr. Liliana R. Ortega. Brandy Ray Mitchell. Wincy Leung.
And this concludes the degree conferral for Management and Human Resources.
Let's have a big round of applause for all of our graduates. This concludes the College of Business Administration commencement ceremony. Thank you so much for being with us today. Will the audience please remain seated during the recessional?
Thank you.